There was no speed, brutality, and bloodiness like the battles on the steppe, but here exists a war that will surprise you. Dawn arrives on the Australian agricultural landscape, and farmers start their day by observing foxes around the farm. Foxes are the main characters in farmers' stories. Now we find out how Australian farmers are dealing with thousands of invasive foxes in some rural areas in Australia, and specialise in capturing live prey. They are not only common predators, but also a serious threat to agriculture. When it comes to destructive and dangerous animals, foxes are solitary animals, opportunistic hunters. Therefore, foxes have the ability to kill their prey very quickly. They use pincer-like claws and are skilled at grabbing prey with precision. The space is peaceful and quiet with no signs of danger, combined with sharp teeth ready to tear anything apart. The chickens lay motionless on the ground with patchy bite marks, but in just a few short minutes, foxes can invade the farm and attack your livestock. Something terrible happened last night. The farmers knew for sure that the person causing this chaos was none other than the fox. Farms near forests or wild areas are places where foxes often appear to attack, because they've been lurking here for a few nights. Foxes are not only a danger to pets, but also a challenge to social security. Instead of wandering through the forest, foxes now appear on the street. They invade residential areas and consider this as their territory. This was a brutal attack, and everything was chaotic. It wouldn't be worth mentioning if they didn't attack people in the area, even entering people's houses like this. This woman faced the fox's aggression. You can see she tried to get away from it, but it didn't seem to want to let go. Fortunately, she survived, but the physical and psychological consequences still follow her every day. It is a feeling of fear and pain. The use of traps to control fox population is an important measure for Australian agriculture. First of all, farmers will carefully prepare and especially can be reused many times to implement the strategy. There are many types of traps depending on the size and weight of the fox. Traps like this are not only highly effective, but also simple, easy to use. Usually, it is on routes frequented by foxes, but requires strategy and caution. Farmers need to choose appropriate trap location, traps, ropes, and bait. The process of setting traps is to maximize the ability to catch foxes in controlling fox populations. According to an Australian government study, by setting traps 2 to 3 times per week, Australian farmers have achieved significant. Fox numbers have decreased by about 30% in the past 5 years, mainly thanks to the implementation of trapping, but also effectively protects the agricultural environment. However, the process of destroying this invasive fox species, therefore, it can be said that up to now, traps are a smart solution, because it not only controls the number of foxes and is not causing injury to humans or other animals. Farmers must check the trap regularly to ensure it is working properly. Also requires attention and compliance with certain principles during the trapping process. Besides trapping, hunting is also a popular method among Australian farmers. For farmers, fox, especially in areas such as agricultural areas in New South Wales and Victoria, is not only a recreational activity, but also an important means of controlling fox populations. The opening shots in the battle to protect the Australian ecosystem. But if left unchecked, a sudden increase in fox numbers, where foxes often destroy farms. There is no denying that foxes are part. At the same time, it will affect the food source for other predators. A sudden increase in fox population can create great pressure on the local environment, affecting ecological balance and the biosphere. Could pose a major threat to the food chain because of reduced livestock numbers, especially when it comes to implementing control. Large numbers of foxes can create challenges for wildlife management agencies, requiring them to apply innovative and effective fox control measures to protect farmers and the environment. These harmful effects together create a major challenge for Australian farmers. In the field, behind the pile of hay, The farmer was waiting traps and having to wait passively. The shot killed the fox quickly. This is after about an hour, compared to because they can actively follow the fox's tracks, even find their dens. And you see, this choice is reasonable. Many farmers prefer to choose to hunt, because this way farmers can process larger quickly. You know, foxes are omnivores. They can eat all your livestock and crops. They are capable of hunting a variety of prey, from huge challenge to efforts to prevent fox, rabbits to birds. This diversity of food sources has poses the difficulty of control. If given the opportunity, foxes will try their luck with adult sheep and even adult cows. In fact, a study in Wales also found that therefore Australian sheep farmers are always an important food source for foxes during the summer. Ways to eliminate foxes around their grazing areas. The car was approaching the edge of the forest, where foxes often appear to protect their farms. Especially during the sheep breeding period, farmers will organize hunts. A dramatic night hunt begins. They walk toward hunters holding their hunting equipment in their hands around the farm and fields. He is imitating fox cries to lure them to this area. After efforts to entice, a fox appears. When hunting in forests and wild areas, hunters need to be able to move flexibly in diverse environments. They had to stalk and hide for hours until they killed the fox. This method is really effective for night hunting trips. They must be really healthy to carry guns everywhere where foxes often go. Only when night comes, the fox's eyesight decreases, so they don't have to hunt in one night. With every step taken at night. But you see, night hunting is not easy either. Their efforts yielded surprising results. This is how many foxes and the stability of rural communities. But you can see, faced with a great challenge, farmers in Australia do not hesitate. Fox attacks not only mean the loss of hundreds, Australian farmers are facing the risk of great economic and psychological loss, even thousands of livestock for farmers, but they also carry with them concerns about personal safe fields. They have created unique strategies to a base used to hunt foxes was placed on top of the container. A farmer's long day begins with careful observation. Foxes. Before this invasive species disappears, they must recognize the first signs of the appearance. He was climbing up there and looking into the distance. Farmers do not want to miss any movement in the field. This battle will continue every day. Throughout the agricultural regions of America. Hello my friends, especially Texas. There are a million feral hogs in the United States. It is estimated that there are more than 9 smoldering and persistent war. It is a war between farmers and wild boars, with no mercy and no end in sight. And they can be found in 99. Texas is home to more than 5.7 million feral of the state's 254 counties. Every year, wild boars cause a damage to agriculture and the environment. Their presence in the area has to $1.7 billion USD. They are large and ferocious, with some weighing up to 590 pounds when wild boars arrive. The pigs dug with their snouts, wallowing in the dirt, creating native species of food sources. Deer are one of the species that must leave holes in the ground and tearing up crops, and the holes created by pigs can destroy farmers' livelihoods. According to the Department of Conservation, a group of 10 pigs can destroy 13 to 25 acres in one night. Not only do they invade farm fields and disturb crop production to humans and livestock that can be infectious and pose serious health, they defecate in the fields, leaving behind fecal coliform. Wild boars are also vectors for many pathogens and parasites. Farmers on farms in North Texas, many prevention methods have been implemented. Say feral hogs can cause thousands of dollars in damage every night, but farmers still have to face problems caused by wild boars. Wild boars are an invasive species. because their ability to invade is proportional, so they have no real natural predators to speak of, to their ability to reproduce and adapt to the environment. This means there is no natural mechanism to control their numbers, which further complicates the population problem. Births can occur every month of the year. Worse still, a female pig can give birth to 2 litters of 5 to 8 cubs each. Food for wildlife is common. Reproductive rates may be higher, such as croplands or where provision of with most wild boar populations having pigs occurring in the winter and spring months. In areas where forage is in years with above average rainfall, wild boars grow larger and have higher survival rates of their young. Their ability to adapt to the environment is extremely good. During dry years, wild boars expand their home range in search of food and water, often accounting for more than 50%. When conditions permit, wild boars will choose agricultural crops. They eat everything they can fit in their mouths. Roots, vegetables, worms, and insect plant diet, and causing significant. Known for its gluttony, an adult wild boar will consume to agricultural fields. Wild boars eat veal, sheep, and deer when given the opportunity. That's why wild boars can turn your farm into ruin. Approximately 3% of its body weight per day and consume it within 4 to 6 hours. Pigs' rapid digestion shows their tremendous appetites that not only protect stray animals, they will prioritize materials and their farm areas. These farmers are building fences, as you can see, and rush into farms even during the day, are strong enough to overturn many types of fence, but also deter invasive species, although it can be expensive. However, if implemented on a larger scale, excluding feral pigs with fencing is a safe option for small-scale farms. It will not be very effective. Therefore, farmers need to build a solid protection system, effective method of eliminating feral pigs. In addition to fences, traps are a common but prevent them from escaping the trap. A wired gate system is used to allow wild boar entry. At night, wild boar's eyesight is quite poor. The large trap is made of sturdy metal. Farmers will spread corn as bait to attract them. The goal is to get the whole herd of pigs at once, and everything will be easier. You can see a lot of wild boars. Farmers will come and shoot the wild boars and let them decompose on their own traps. After being captured, the next morning, traps help them save time and still be able to take down a series of invaders like this, or collect them on the truck to be processed. $3 million of the budget each year. Texas documents show the effort has cost. Wild boars are not often active during the day as rice and soybean fields begin and a farmer works all day. But farmers will have to protect their land or they will become a favorite target for wild boars. The more likely the area in the vicinity of the hour-long stalking sessions like this take place to protect their field. He would have to go out at night and do something. The more often hunting will take place. Production rate. After setting the time, at this time, hunters can easily aim and kill them from far away corn. This machine will shoot corn out to attract nearby pigs, will limit the presence of wild boars. At the same time, it inhibits their along the fields of Texas, you will see this image appear often that causes heavy damage to the economy. However, it is the final result of devastation. You may find this pursuit quite brutal and people's lives. These shots were fired in the hunting with guns is the most popular method. Hunting pressure will cause wild boars to relocate from their habitats, or at least limit their movements, reducing the number of wild boars in the area. To slaughterhouses for meat processing. Broken Arrow Ranch in Texas works with trappers to capture and deliver feral, but it is not very effective. They prefer to buy medium-sized pigs, weighing between 80 and 180 pounds. Because the larger the wild boar gets, the more hormones it secretes. 1,700 wild boars every year. Packaging. They sell 1,500. All pigs entering the food system are subject to federally mandated inspection under FSIA. There are currently 15 federally inspected facilities, whether they are farm-raised or wild-caught, making the meat smell unpleasant. They are turning this invasive animal into a sustainable source of protein for humans, have introduced wild boar into the food chain that specialize in feral hog slaughter scattered across the United States. Some Texas chefs, farmers, and meat suppliers. At a restaurant in Austin, Texas, wild boar is a prominent dish on the menu. However, eating wild boar meat can pose many health risks for the wild boar meat production industry, so it is not popular. This may be because when the demand for wild boar meat increases, the invasion of this species will explode strongly. At this time, Texas farmers' battle with wild boars will become increasingly difficult, but it is not necessarily a bad result.